This is the plaintiff, Kelly Denise Pescatori. She says she hired the defendant to train her new schnoodle because the thing pooped and peed all over the house. The guy comes to her home, walks up to her dog Luigi, points to the floor and says, "No poopy." Then takes him outside and points to the grass and says, "Good poopy." Are you kidding? The guy doesn't know what he's doing. And she wants her $850 returned. This is the defendant, Steve Ginsburg. He says, let's just say the plaintiff has no respect and is very, very demanding. He knows how to train dogs and also knows how it takes some time. It doesn't just happen overnight. Also, the owners have to understand the training process and follow the rules. If they don't, there'll be no success. Bottom line, he did what he was hired to do and won't be returning any monies. He's accused of pooping out.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Kelly Dennis Pescatori, you are suing Steve Ginsburg and Robin Slipkovich. You're representing both of you here, and Charlie's Canine College for $850, the amount that you paid him to train your dog, and it didn't work out so well. All right, what happened?
Last year, my husband got a new job, which had us relocate to Florida. And, you know, my daughter at the time was 13, my son is 10. Kind of a sensitive time to be changing your kids.
Okay, where'd you move from?
From Chicago area.
Okay.
So part of the negotiation with my son Mario was that when we finally get acclimated into the new home, that I would buy him a puppy. He's been wanting a pet of his own for quite some time.
Okay.
So he had really been looking forward to it.
Now, you already have some dogs, right?
I have a 13-year-old poodle.
And just just the one is what you have?
I have that, and Maya has a cat, and I've grown up with dogs all my life.
Okay,
I've had dogs. So anyway, we had taken him to another kind of store pet training thing. I don't want to name the store.
Wait, you've taken who?
Luigi.
Oh, so you got Luigi.
I got Luigi.
And Luigi was a what?
Schnoodle. He's
schnoodle.
A Schnauzer poodle mix.
Heaven help us. A Schnauzer poodle mix. Okay.
Just adorable, but
do you have a picture?
A terror. I do.
A terror. Why? What was the issue?
He's just quite the quite the personality. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So he picked it. We got the dog toward the end of September, the beginning of October. Had some problems with the potty training issue, like major. So I had gone one route of trying to get him, through some formal training, and that wasn't really as structured as I would have liked to have had it, and it wasn't as result-oriented as I would have preferred to. He was still going all over my house. All over.
All over. Not even on a particular spot, just all over.
I mean, all over.
Okay.
Okay? So, hence
defecating and urinating?
Oh, both.
Everything. So you bring him in, and the deal that you strike with him is $850 in return for what? Is it in writing, the deal you guys had?
Yes.
Yes, may I see that? Okay.
So, overwhelmingly, I made it clear it was the potty training issue. In fact, as we went on, I told him, if I hear sit stay one more time, I'm going to lose it. I don't care if he sit stays. I need him to stop.
Yeah, but you have to establish dominance. I mean, there's.
I understand. Foundation is needed.
I know. And there's a certain, you can't just magically say stop defecating and urinating, and then the dog is healed.
No, I agree. I agree.
All right. We do not utilize any punitive measures, noise, clickers, coins in a can, nor do we use food to create enforcement. The dog and I need one-to-one sessions of privacy for the first 2 to 3 sessions. Distractions inhibit concentration, blah, blah, blah. Phase 2, owner education. Instructions are produced for dog and owner to be utilized on a daily basis. This obedience training program is guaranteed as long as the owner utilizes all drill procedures and practices on a daily basis. Wow, you promised a lot.
Yes.
You got to be really good at this to promise this much, because you're literally guaranteeing a result.
Yes, Your Honor.
Most of these contracts that I see don't guarantee a result, right?
For a puppy, we do.
Right. But most trainers don't. They'll say that for $850, I'll give you 8 lessons or whatever, and then they don't actually guarantee a result, do they?
There are some people that can, depending. Everything depends upon the situation, the complexity, the age of the dog, if it's a puppy, what the background of the issue is.
You obviously felt pretty comfortable because this contract, you are guaranteeing a result.
Yes, ma'am.
And you do with any puppy because you feel like they're young enough to learn.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So what happens in this case? You go over there and you give the dog how many sessions?
This case, and we have everything set up. I have copies of dates structured where there had to be changes because at one point I had laryngitis. That's in my calendar printout, which I have everything here, of the times I did go to a doctor because I did have laryngitis, and there had to be structures and changes made.
How many times did you go train the dog?
We have right here 5 times.
5 times.
Now,
and what you had envisioned it taking is a minimum of 8 to 10, right?
At least.
Okay.
Now, this was not a normal scenario with a puppy for a few reasons. And in fact, Mrs. Pescatori even mentioned that the dog was going all over the house. When a puppy goes all over the house, there are reasons why. Number one, when the average puppy is peeing and pooping in the house and the owner is not controlling the profile, the puppy usually pees and poops in certain areas. Behind the couch, the same couch all the time.
Right.
This was not just a normal puppy training.
So what do you think was the issue?
The issue is that when this dog was pooping all over the house, this dog's upset. This is how they lash out at their owners.
Right.
Okay? So this takes time. This is why we state puppy training can be 8 to 10. That's why I highlight in red one scenario that I just gave you, that it could take more.
The 5 sessions that you went to, first of all, were you ever able to determine why the dog was, quote, angry, or the dog, I mean, what, I don't know.
I don't have anything against Mrs. Piscatore because these issues are normal.
Right.
They're not abnormal. What was abnormal is what happened.
Which is
why we're
that
here.
you felt that she prematurely discharged you.
Yes.
Okay. And now those 5 sessions that you did in the span of how much time?
This was, the time was within a 3.5-week period.
Tell me about that.
When I first came home after I saw Luigi for the first time, this guy reminded me of a Benji movie. This dog is a great-looking dog, very, very smart. Extremely smart, but a manipulator and very, very independent. Okay? This dog wants to control everyone. The only thing that really bothers this dog is Kelly's cat, Furball. Now, this cat will come out and tease.
So you think maybe Furball was sort of upsetting Luigi?
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, maybe, I don't know. But the bottom line is you fire him after 5 sessions and 3.5 weeks because you don't see improvement.
Not only that, he failed to mention about the 2 appointments that he no-showed for.
Okay.
No call. So it wasn't just the fact
Now, are
that
these the doctor's appointments that you had? And
No. I even admitted to her there was one time I really didn't even put it in my calendar. I really didn't. Whatever my error was,
and the
it was my
second
error.
time, what was the no-show the second time?
Oh, no, he said to the contrary, that it was miscommunication, that he hadn't no-showed, so he wasn't even copping to his lack of professionalism and apologetic for when he, didn't show up.
How many no-shows were there? 2.
They were on the 11th and the 18th of February.
Okay.
2 consecutive.
The 11th was because you didn't have it on the schedule?
Didn't have it on the schedule.
And what about the 18th, though? Were you supposed to be there on the 18th?
Question mark. I have everything right here. If you want, I'll give you my calendars.
Well, answer me. Were you supposed to be there on the 18th?
I didn't put it in.
All right, she sends you an email in February, and she says to you, all right, that's it, you no-showed twice. Now, I think she probably was really happy you no-showed twice, because she sort of didn't want to hear sit-stay anymore. You felt that this wasn't going anywhere because you weren't seeing any progress.
For almost a month, I was willing to hear sit-stay. I was willing to hear stand on your head, Luigi, as long as he stopped peeing and pooping in my house.
Okay.
We love this dog, but it was stressful. It was stressful,
What ended up happening with the dog?
I no longer have him, which is heartbreaking.
You had to give the dog away?
I did.
You didn't put him to sleep or anything?
No.
Why do you think the dog was... Clearly the dog was making no progress, or she wouldn't be so frustrated and she wouldn't have taken the draconian measure of finding the dog somewhere else to live. So tell me why you think the dog wasn't making progress.
First of all, Your Honor, there's a tremendous lack of patience. And I have something to give you. I even have a radio show on Saturday mornings. For her to make a statement because of impatience and not understanding what is going on, her husband's a doctor. Patients don't question what a doctor does and how it accomplishes it. A dog takes time. If I took 5 dogs from a litter, each one is going to take a different amount of time for training, especially when you have something else happening within the household. A dog can take 2 or 3 or 4 months for training. So this is something that because of her impatience, wanting something done when she wants it, this is not the way you work with an animal.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever give your dog up if the dog didn't get that whole potty training thing down?
Absolutely not.
So even if the dog's crapping all over the house?
You gotta train them.
Fair enough. I mean, would you ever just give up?
No, I haven't met a dog that couldn't be trained.
What do you think, ma'am?
Dogs are like children. They're yours. You have to stick with it.
I like the way you guys think. I like the way you think. Going inside the courtroom.
So your premise is, Judge, I don't have to return this money because she jumped the gun.
Exactly.
By firing me too quickly, and even if I missed two dates, that's not cause to fire me.
Your Honor.
And you say you didn't miss 2 dates. You
No,
say
I
you
did
missed
not.
1.
You did not. And I want to bring something up, and I think she's going to probably remember it. She had to go to Dakota. Dakota is a location on Sheridan Street for designing fabric. We had an appointment, I believe it was around 12 o'clock. I was at the gate. The gate is a secured entrance, her community. I was at the gate waiting, and I called her on her cell phone, and she did not answer. I waited almost an hour at the gate. In fact, I went out and came back.
Did you ever have a conversation with her later and say, hey, I went,
yes.
you went,
yes.
and what did
she
she
apologized.
say? Said,
But
oh, sorry, I got detained? Did that happen?
Right.
Yeah, we
Yes.
talked about my being...
That's fine. These things happen. It doesn't bother me because it's normal, everyday existence.
Judge,
Tell me, Ms. Pescatori, when was the dog given away?
we got him when he was 8 weeks old. When we had to give him away, he was close to 6 months old. That
No.
is not jumping the gun. That is
No, I
sticking
understand,
to it.
but there had been 5 sessions. You hired him at the very end of January, and by
Correct.
middle of February, you fired him.
That's because
Wha-
of lack of effectiveness and lack of professionalism.
Lack of effectiveness, you didn't give it time. There's no question you didn't give it time. I understand your impatience. I am a person who, when I ask for something, 10 seconds later, I find myself asking for it again. And so it's, you're from one person who's just like you to you, I understand that. But from a legal standpoint, I cannot look at the contract you signed and say, you didn't deliver. You didn't deliver because you didn't give it time. The question is, was him not showing up on 2 occasions sufficient cause for you to pull out of the contract? Okay, that's the question. And I can't help but feel that those aren't the reasons that you pulled out of the contract. I can't help but feel that you just felt like you hired the wrong person. And from a legal standpoint, vis-a-vis a contract situation between you two, I find that it was not just cause to stop the contract from going forward, and therefore I rule in this case in favor of the defendant and do not order him to return the rest of the money. That's my judgment.
Just hold on right there.
And so the plaintiff comes out on the losing end of this verdict here. Step right over. Right over here. Tell me, you don't look pleased, obviously. What's your reaction to this outcome?
He's a joke. So let it be a warning to anybody else out there in my area to absolutely not use him because he's ineffective at best.
Well, it didn't work in your case in the time allotted. But
Well, if he would have showed up, it would have been, probably better if he might have been more effective had he shown up, but that, he didn't.
how much do you miss Luigi?
I miss him a lot, but my brother misses him a lot more, and it's really hard to see him really sad every day. So
You gonna get another dog to, fill the void?
We already have a dog, so I don't know. We need to recoup from this one.
All right, head around the corner there. Come on out here and stay.
Very well put.
Was this about your reputation or about this money?
It was neither. It was about a woman's thorough impatience.
Yeah. Well, she was really mad that you didn't show up those 2 times.
That is not the issue because there was enough communication. The whole thing was that when she said to me, when she wanted to cancel our agreement, that the dog and I were not a good fit, I think there's an answer right there for you.
You have any doubt at all that you could have trained this dog given the time you needed?
This is simplistic.
How much time would it have taken you think?
With that dog, probably good solid 2 to 2.5 months. and she never would have to give the dog away. And that shocks me.
Harvey?
That shocked me.
Okay, Kurt, unless the contract specifies otherwise, people have a reasonable amount of time to perform under a contract. And just because somebody is impatient doesn't mean that person prevails. You have a reasonable time to perform your obligations. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.